All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. JP, 730 Sports. Want to talk about this thing real fast. Sitting in the parking lot of the gym, so you might hear some background noise. It just is what it is. I need to get this out before I forget. Watching the Warriors Bulls last night. Uh, Here's the thing about Golden State. I think they're playing with these teams like they're kind of just having fun. Basically, allowing other teams to think that they actually have a shot of winning the game. And then, like the last 1 or 2 minutes, they just pull away and they pull away easily. Now, I don't expect this to continue. The Warriors will lose a game. They're not going to go undefeated. They got a shot at the 72 wins. They really do. Because I think they can put together, winning streaks over and over again the way you need to in order to win 72 games. But after watching the Bulls game, it took me back to the Clippers. And if there's one team in the NBA that can keep the Warriors from winning another title, the Clippers are not the team. The Clippers have an issue when it comes to the Warriors. The Clippers need a third scorer. They have to find somebody who can give them 20 points besides Chris Paul, besides Blake Griffin. And they need this 20 points. If the Warriors and the Clippers play a 7-game series in the playoffs, which may likely happen, they're not going to have enough firepower, and their defense is not good enough to neutralize what the Warriors bring to the table. You're really not stopping Steph Curry. So what you have to try to do in order to beat this team is stop the other guys. But if Iguodala is going to get 20 and Barnes is going to get 20 and Klay Thompson is going to get 20 and Draymond Green is going to get 15, and the Clippers don't have enough firepower to contend with Golden State. And I think the other problem they have too is maybe a coaching issue. I'm not a big fan of Doc Rivers, the coach. They brought in a lot of players, that they were supposed to use to get them to the title. Stevenson and Pierce but I don't even think they figured out their crunch time lineup. The first game that they played the Warriors, the end of the game was just strange. I don't understand what they were doing at the end of the game. I don't get it, and I never understand what Doc is doing at the end of the games. Crunch time. I don't know what the lineup is. I don't understand what the goal is of the people he's putting on the floor. But the Clippers and the Warriors are on two different levels, and I think that the Clippers players are starting to realize that Chris Paul's frustration with not being able to beat the Warriors, you can see it on his face, and I think he might be the only one that really gives a damn. The rest of the guys are just along for the ride. Chris Paul's taking this shit personal, every time he loses to the Warriors. It's been 2 games already this season. He's lost both of them. And he's taking it personal. I mean, he put up, some big numbers in the second game, and it wasn't enough, because they got neutralized by Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Iguodala, and Harrison Barnes. And then, you get something from Draymond Green. And the Warriors are just too deep, and they're deep with players who actually do things. See, the Clippers are deep, but they got a lot of players who don't do much, Staying on basketball. The problem with the Houston Rockets has nothing to do with coaching. The problem with the Houston Rockets is, who's the leader on that team? I mean, think about that. Who's the actual leader on the Houston Rockets? Now, a lot of people want to say James Harden, right? But if you say James Harden is the leader on the Houston Rockets, then you don't know anything about basketball. He's the best player. He's not a leader. It definitely ain't Dwight Howard. Ty Lawson? No. Uh, Jason Terry, you would think that would be his position, but it's not. So they fire McHale because the team is off to a rough start. And I think expectations were too high for this basketball team based on last year. Remember, they got to where they were because Harden went off. He had a streak. Harden had a run that was just unbelievable. And they won a lot of games based on that. More games than they should have, I think. We're talking about a team that doesn't defend. Like, defense is it's just a foreign subject to them. They don't defend. So what they try to do is outscore you, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do that on a night in and night out basis. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But there's no leadership on that team. There's no leader on the Houston Rockets, and that is the problem. Players only meeting. Word on the street is it was directed at James Harden. And his, I guess the word is being aloof. And then they got back to him not playing defense. James Harden actually played defense last year. It wasn't great defense, but he actually put an effort in. And now he's back to really not putting much of an effort in the defense. I guess he wasn't going to make that a year in and year out thing. He was just going to give it to you for a little while because he was getting embarrassed on social media, and I guess he decided he wanted to play defense. But the Houston Rockets don't have a leader. See, you can have a coach, but you have to have a player that the rest of the players follow and believe in, and they don't have that guy. That's the problem with the Houston Rockets. They put together a bunch of talent, no leader. And your best player needs to be your leader or a guy that everybody respects. And there's a lack of respect level. There's no leader on the basketball team. You got to have a leader. Everybody needs a leader because most people are followers. So if most people are followers by nature, they have to have somebody to lead them, or everybody starts doing their own damn thing and you got chaos. And that's what's wrong with the Houston Rockets. Talented team, no leader. So I don't see them as much of a threat to Golden State. Golden State, they're going to have some close games trying to, get to where they're going. I really don't care about the 72 wins. Win the title. Who cares about 72 wins? But I guess when you won the title last year, you can start shooting for other things. But for all of you who might think that their competition out of that West are the Clippers or Houston, don't worry about it. Even if both of those teams have good seasons, which I think they will, the Clippers will win their share of games, and I think Houston will eventually also. But when it comes to playoff time, that's when you start seeing what guys are really made of. You know what the Golden State Warriors are made of. We also know what the Clippers aren't made of because they've been trying this for a while and they can't get over the hump. They just don't have it. And as far as the Clippers team chemistry, I still think it's a problem. Chris Paul wants to lead. Chris Paul is the leader, but he leads with anger. He leads with frustration. And he leads with ugly looks and basically being mad at guys on the court and things of that nature. And none of that is any good. That's not the way you lead. You can't be that all the time. You have to pick your spots. Speaking of leaders, Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron James is talking. And he's talking a lot. He's not happy with the effort of, and he won't name any names. I believe it's Kevin Love and a couple of other guys that he doesn't believe are giving a maximum effort night in and night out. LeBron James is in a position to where he has to decide what he's going to be with these guys. People talk bad about the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant types who lead with a no-nonsense type of a manner, who will call you out, in practice. Kobe will call you out on television, Michael Jordan known for smacking guys, but these guys win. And LeBron's trying to play the middle where he wants to be the nice guy and be the good guy, but at the same time, he's trying to let some of his players know, his teammates, well, really his players. This is LeBron's damn team. Let his players know that, hey, I'm not happy with the effort that's being given night in and night out. LeBron gonna have to step to one of these guys. Whoever he's talking about, and I believe it's Kevin Love, And he's going to have to tell them, look, man, you're going to do it my way or we ain't doing it at all. The silent messages and the cryptic messages, they're not working. They're not working. Now, Cleveland's going to come out of that East. The Bulls may have something to say about it if they can, stay healthy. If Derrick Rose can stay healthy, Jimmy Butler looks good. It's a nice Bulls team they got over there, but I don't know if they're ready to beat Cleveland in the series. And it's early to be talking about the playoffs, but you pretty much know how this is going to shake out if you watch the NBA. You got your top tier teams, your middle tier teams, and then you got the guys who don't have a shot. I don't discuss the guys who don't have a shot, so we won't be talking about the Sixers or any of those players, or any of those teams. If you don't have a shot, we don't talk about you. So, we know the teams that have a shot, and some of these teams have problems. And if they don't get their problems fixed, and if Golden State stays healthy, they'll win the NBA title again, because I don't see the competition. San Antonio can put it together. But age is always a factor with the Spurs, and you never know when it's going to creep up and bite you. They got backcourt issues, and if you're going to beat Golden State, your backcourt better be good. They better be healthy. They better be ready to go. And I don't know if they have that in San Antonio. So, Golden State's the best team out there. And it's not even about the record. You just have to watch. Watch these other teams, watch Golden State, and there's a big difference. And like I said, the Clippers are supposed to be their competition. The Clippers don't have a shot. You can forget about it. They can't beat Golden State in the series. They can't beat Golden State in a regular season game right now. They can't beat Golden State in the series. And come playoff time, after the mileage is up and, Chris Paul has played a crazy number of minutes, and, what are they really going to do with that Golden State team? They can't figure it out, And let's give Luke Walton some props, They're dismissing this guy like basically he doesn't have to do anything. The Golden State Warriors just roll out there and play basketball and, he gets the win or whatever. You still have to coach. Somebody has to coach a basketball team. And I don't give a damn if he's just setting the lineup and making substitutions. You got to give him credit for that. These guys aren't doing this by themselves. Players play, coaches coach. And players understand coaching because they've been coached all their lives. If you give them a coach that can't get the job done or they think is inadequate or inept, you've seen how that goes. Players rebel. They won't play, they won't defend, they won't do anything until they get somebody who they respect and think can do the job. So let's give Luke Walton some props here, man. He's been doing a good job. He's got a coaching future, even whether he deserves it or not. Just based on what he's doing right now, somebody's going to give him a shot. So that's about it, man. My quick spill on the NBA. JP 730 Sports. Like, subscribe, dislike, but subscribe. And we're out.